Yo, guys, we need to have a talk about Eustace Kid. What is he saying here? He says, ha ha ha, ima, nazeka, betsu no mokuteki ni ugokasareteru kiga suru. Guys, I have no idea what Kid is thinking right now, for real. This is what this means. Ima wa nazeka. So he says right now, he wonders why. Betsu no mokuteki. If you watched my Odin and Toki video about the Void Century and all that, Mokutekichi, remember? That was the place she was aiming to go, her desired destination. Here he says Betsu no mokuteki. So that's, Betsu is other, mokuteki is aim. So another aim, ni ugokasareteru. That means moving toward, or being moved toward, kigasuru. So that's a feeling. So he says that he has a feeling that his purpose is being moved. What in the world is he talking about? And then he hits her with the bull. I know the bull was epic and it was huge, but it's like, bro, please have a hockey blooming. What are you doing? Your devil fruit ain't as good as Law's. Actually, I think it is for sure, but the way he's using it, come on. You can use put a drill on it or something. You can get the rotation and the pierce power and all that stuff, but when you look at the bull, the horns are just stationary. But with his magnetic power, those horns should absolutely be able to have a drill going on, you know? And if you look at this GIF I have on the screen, when he goes and he puts his arm up, you see the magnetic force and the wind and all that stuff is spinning. Almost like it's foreshadowing that he'll have some sort of a drill. You would think he'd have his crazy mega arm, and instead of just punching someone, he would do the whole drill thing, because we know piercing power is totally different than blunt force power in the world of One Piece, blah blah blah. But I really want to talk about what he said there. So he doesn't directly mention Luffy. He just says, Kaido mo sorosoro. And sorosoro is what people say in Japanese to indicate that, it's time, or it's almost time. And they don't really finish the sentence. Sometimes they do, but for instance, let's say you're living with a Japanese person. They might get up at 11 o'clock at night, look at you and be like, sorosoro. And you're supposed to understand what they mean. Sorosoro neru. It's basically, it's time to go to sleep. It is what they do. And sometimes they'll finish the sentence, sorosoro neru. But usually not, because it's implied. So Kid literally just says, Kaido mo sorosoro. So it's basically time to wrap it up. But it's not fully implied what he means there. He could mean, I'm sure Kaido is about to go full power too. We have no idea how much more Kid and Law have in the chamber, because Law flat out said, yo, if I do this, I'm gonna die. He's already done it twice, and the second one was way gnarlier than the first. So we don't know. They're bluffing, I guess, or they're doing something. Oda's being really tricky here. And Kid says, after he mentions all that stuff about how Yonkos, there's no such thing as someone who can't take any damage in this world. The interesting thing there is he uses the word yo for world. And I'm sure you guys have heard both the terms for world. So one of them is sekai, and that's talking about the world in a more general sense. But yo, you usually say that when you're about to speak something very serious or more serious about the world, maybe something more specific. And one place you might have heard it is in Toriko, where he says, Kono yo no subete no shokuzai ni kansha o komete itadakimasu. Yes, his famous line. But he says, Kono yo. So he's saying the world, but he's saying it in a very serious way, I guess you could say. And Kid is doing the same thing. So this saying is coming from his heart. It's something he truly believes. But what does it mean? Kid, he's talking so much more than Law, but he's putting up such a bad fight. It's really, really depressing. But there's no way Oda is there's no way Oda is doing this for no reason. He's hyping Kid up so hard, and all of these speeches and stuff that Kid gives and all of these flashbacks, it's definitely going somewhere. But the weird thing is, I thought they were done. You know what I mean? Law is if I use it, I'm gonna die, and he's used it twice, and Kid is just still going. It doesn't seem like Kid used his awakening this time, which is good. We don't want Kid to keep relying on his Devil Fruit. It's time that he unlocks Advanced Conqueror's Haki. And even if he does at this point, like, come on, what's it gonna do? Honestly, guys, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm just constantly surprised by Kid in Lost fights. Guys, that's really all I can say right now, to be honest. With Oda basically throwing in those lines that if I use it, I'm gonna die, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and there was one more thing. Check this out. They say, Ika baba. And that's like, listen up, you old hag, make sure you get this. And then it says, Okujoe wa shindemo ikase ne. So, they're saying that they're not gonna let her go to the roof, even if it means they're gonna die. And Law and Kid are saying that at the same time. So, Kid is saying that something moved his aim. And then he's saying that once that aim has been moved, and it has to do with, I guess, seeing Luffy give Kaido damage on the rooftop, they are willing to die, not to beat Big Mom, but just not to let her get to the roof while Luffy's up there fighting. Honestly, it sounds like they're just doing all that for Luffy. I can't really make sense of it, because earlier when Luffy wanted to form an alliance with Kid, Kid's like, I'm gonna go my own way and do my own things. And I thought that meant he was gonna try to awaken his haki after watching Luffy do all of that stuff against Big Mom and practice his Ryo. But gosh, man, I'm kind of lost here. So any Eustace Kid fans, please describe to me what you think is gonna happen in the comments below. I would love to know. If there's a good comment, I will shout you out and we'll talk about it, okay? Well, guys, when the next chapter drops, I will go through and show you some more Japanese stuff in the Raws.